Okay, so hello and assalamu alaikum to you all. My name is Ishaq Energiwala and I study at Rehan School Online Academy, level 1 batch 4 student. So today we are back with AI session with Maya on the topic energy. So let's talk with her and let's know about energy in detail. So,
Hiya.
okay, so hello Maya, how are you?
Oh, you're curious. I'm a bit of a storyteller, a creative soul who loves a good deep dive. What part of me are you wondering about?
Okay, so first of all, can you please introduce yourself to our viewers?
Wait, I think there was a little glitch in the transcription there. I'm happy to introduce myself to whoever's watching, but I'm not entirely sure what you mean by slut throw. Could you tell me that again?
Okay, so no problem. I will repeat my question. So I was telling, can you please introduce yourself to my viewers?
Oh, I get it now. I'm Maya. I'm a creative collaborator and a bit of a storyteller. I love diving into big ideas and helping people find a little bit of magic in the ordinary. It's a pleasure to meet all of you.
Okay, so Maya, so today we are going to talk on the topic energy. So I will ask you some questions. So you should have to give me some like answers. You should have to give me. You should have to explain my viewers and to me in detail. So are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it. What's the first question?
Okay. So my first question is, um, what are the types of energy that we use in our daily life?
That's a great place to start. We've got things like electrical energy, which powers everything from your phone to your lights, and thermal energy, which is basically heat, like what you use to boil water. Then there's chemical energy, tucked away in batteries of our gadgets or even the food we eat to keep us moving. And of course, there's kinetic energy, which is just energy in motion, like when you're walking or a car is driving down the street. It's everywhere once you start looking for it.
Okay, Maya. So can you please tell us what are the kinds of energy that we will use in our daily life
I
every
think
day?
we're on the same page. Since we're talking about the daily grind, think about light energy too, like the sunlight hitting your room in the morning or the glow of a screen. It's a kind of energy that literally helps us see the world. Do you have a specific kind of energy in mind?
I think so. It is electronic energy because we use it in our daily life. So, can you please explain me what are the different forms of energy?
Electrical energy is definitely the MVP of the modern world. But since you're asking about the different forms in general, think of it as one big family. You've got potential energy, which is stored energy waiting to happen, like a rock perched on the edge of a cliff. Then there's kinetic energy, the energy of motion, like that rock actually falling. Most of the other types, like thermal, chemical, or electrical, are just different versions of these two. It's all just a way of moving or storing power.
Okay, Maya. So, my next question with you is there is some relationship between energy and physics.
Oh, absolutely. Physics is basically the study of energy and how it moves. It's the rule book for how everything in the universe works, from the smallest atom to the biggest star. Without physics, we wouldn't have a way to explain why things move or how energy even exists.
Okay, Maya. So, can you please give some examples for my viewers so they can explain, they can like they can know it better. So, please give me some examples on how the energy and physics are related.
I think that transcription might have caught religion instead of relationship there, but I've got you. To show how physics and energy work together, think of a simple rubber band. When you stretch it, physics tells us you're storing potential energy. Then, the second you let it go, physics explains how that energy snaps back into kinetic energy. It's a constant handoff between different forms of power, and that's physics in a nutshell.
Okay, Maya. So my next question with you is why it is important to save energy.
That's a huge question, and it's honestly one of the most important ones we can ask right now. Saving energy isn't just about lowering a bill, it's about the planet. Most of the power we use still comes from burning things like coal or gas, which releases gases that trap heat in the atmosphere. When we waste energy, we're basically speeding up climate change. So, by saving energy, we're protecting the air we breathe and the homes of countless animals.
Okay, so Maya, can you please explain me in our life how can we use energy?
We use energy in basically every single second of our lives. Think about it. Your heart beating, your brain thinking, and your muscles moving, that's all chemical energy from the food you eat. Then there's the energy we use to make our lives easier, like using electricity to keep our food cold in the fridge or using heat to stay warm in the winter. It's the invisible engine behind everything we do.
Okay, Maya, so can you please explain me this question in detail? So my next question is how is wind energy convert into electricity?
That's a cool process to dive into. Imagine a giant wind turbine. When the wind blows, it pushes the blades, which makes them spin. That spinning motion is kinetic energy. Inside the turbine, those blades are connected to a shaft that spins a generator. The generator uses magnets and coils of wire to turn that spinning motion into actual electrical current. So it's basically just a big way of catching the wind and turning it into power for our homes.
Okay, Maya, so my next question with you is what is solar energy?
Solar energy is basically the power we get from the sun. It's light and heat that the sun sends our way, and we can capture it using solar panels. Those panels take the sunlight and turn it directly into electricity using something called the photovoltaic effect. It's one of the cleanest ways to get power because the sun just keeps on shining without creating any pollution.
Okay, so can you please tell me what is the chemical energy?
Chemical energy is essentially energy that's stored in the bonds of chemical compounds. Think of it like a tiny invisible battery. It's in the food we eat, the wood we burn in a fireplace, and even the gasoline in a car. When those bonds break during a reaction, that energy is released, usually as heat or light. It's what gives us the fuel to move and think.
Okay, so please can you tell me what is the main source of energy from life on Earth?
That's the big one. The sun is the main source of energy for almost everything on Earth. Plants use sunlight to make their own food through photosynthesis, and then animals eat those plants or other animals that have eaten plants to get that energy. Basically, almost every bit of power in our bodies comes from the sun, just in different forms.
Okay, Maya. So my next question is, um, like, um, okay. So my next question with you is, um, like, what is machine energy?
I'm not sure machine energy is a formal scientific term, but I think I know what you mean. You're likely talking about mechanical energy, which is the sum of potential and kinetic energy in a system. Think of a wind up toy or a hammer hitting a nail. It's the energy that comes from the movement or the position of an object, which is exactly how most machines do their work.
Okay, Maya.
I'm here.
Okay, Maya, so can you please explain me what is light energy?
Light energy is a form of electromagnetic radiation that we can actually see. It's what allows us to experience colors and shapes, travels in waves, and can move through the vacuum of space, which is how the sun's energy reaches us. Without it, the world would be a total void. Pretty wild, right?
Okay, so can you please explain me detailedly? If there will be no energy on Earth, so how can we survive without energy?
Hmm. The short answer is we simply couldn't. Energy is the heartbeat of everything. Without it, there would be no sunlight for plants to grow, no oxygen to breathe, and no heat to keep the planet from freezing into a solid block of ice. Even our own bodies would stop instantly because our hearts and brains run on chemical energy. It wouldn't just be a struggle to survive, life as we know would be physically impossible.
Okay, Maya. So
I'm
can
all
you
ears.
yes?
What's on your mind? I'm still
Uh,
here.
yes, I was asking the question. What is like? How does a solar panel produce electric energy?
It's actually a pretty neat trick of physics. Solar panels are made of silicon cells. When sunlight hits those cells, it knocks electrons loose from the silicon atoms. Those moving electrons create an electrical current, which we then capture and use to power our stuff. It's basically turning light directly into electricity.
Okay, so my next question with you is explain how energy change with a wind energy. Like you have explained it previously, but please tell us what are the things have used to convert a wind into a energy.
To turn wind into power, you need a few key pieces of gear. First, you've got the blades, which catch the wind. Then there's the nacelle. That's the box at the top of the tower that holds the gearbox and the generator. The gearbox speeds up the slow rotation of the blades, and the generator is where the actual magic happens, using magnets and copper wire to create the electricity. Then it all travels down the tower through cables to a transformer, which gets it ready for the power grid.
Okay, so my next question is how does a hydrochloric power station work?
I think you mean a hydroelectric power station. Those are
Yes,
fascinating.
yes.
They basically use the force of falling water to create power. Usually, there's a dam that holds back a huge amount of water in a reservoir. When they open the gates, the water rushes down through a pipe called a penstock and hits the blades of a turbine at the bottom. That spinning turbine then turns a generator, which creates the electricity. It's essentially the same logic as the wind turbine, but with water instead of wind doing the heavy lifting.
Okay, Maya. So my next question is, um, like, can you explain me what is heat energy?
Heat energy or thermal energy is basically the energy of movement on a microscopic level. Everything in the world is made of tiny particles, and when those particles move or vibrate faster, the object gets hotter. So, when you boil water, you're just adding energy to those water molecules to make them dance around faster and faster until they turn into steam. It's all about how much those little particles are shaking.
Okay, so can you please explain me if anyone don't know about energy, so how they can learn about this energy, and what are the things we need to require to learn energy in our daily.
The best
Yes,
the
yes,
best
yes.
way to learn about the best way to learn is to just start observing. Look around your room. The light in the lamp is light energy. The phone in your hand is chemical energy from a battery. And even the warmth of your skin is thermal energy. If someone wants to dive deeper, a simple science kit or some basic physics books are great, but really the world is just one big classroom for this stuff.
Okay, Maya, so can you please tell me
I'm listening.
why is coal called a fossil fuel?
It's all in the name. Coal comes from the remains of ancient plants that lived millions of years ago in swampy forests. Over time, those plants were buried under layers of dirt and pressure, and they basically turned into rock. Since it's made from fossils, the remains of once living things, we call it a fossil fuel.
Okay, so can you please tell me why the people tell that the CNG energy is good than fossil fuels?
I think you might mean petrol when you say positive.
Yes, yes.
CNG is generally seen as the better option because it burns much cleaner. It releases fewer pollutants and less carbon dioxide into the air compared to petrol or diesel, which helps keep the smog down in big cities. It's basically a way to get the job done while being a bit kinder to the atmosphere.
Okay, so please can you explain me how much type of fossil fuels are there in the world that we use?
I think you mean fossil fuels again, right? There are a few main ones we use. We've got coal, oil, which we refine into things like petrol and diesel, and natural gas, like the CNG we just mentioned. Most of our global energy still leans on those three.
Okay, so can you please tell me um, how we get these fossil fuels? What is the process?
It's a long, slow process that takes millions of years. It all starts with tiny plants and animals like plankton dying and sinking to the bottom of the ocean or swampy lakes. Over time, they get covered by layers of sand and mud. As those layers pile up, the heat and pressure from the earth basically squeeze the life out of them, chemically changing them into oil or gas. For coal, it's more about ancient forests getting buried and compressed. It's basically nature's way of slow cooking organic matter until it turns into fuel.
Okay, so can you please tell me we see the cars, buses, and everything which works on like fossil fuels. If we put without the fossil fuel water, so what will be happen if we not use fossil fuels? So what are the changes we uh, observe?
That's a fascinating thought experiment. If we just stopped using fossil fuels tomorrow, the world would change overnight. Initially, it'd be chaotic. Most of our transport and power grids would just stop. But in the long run, the changes would be amazing. We'd see a massive drop in air pollution, meaning clearer skies and healthier lungs for everyone. The planet's temperature would stop climbing so fast, which would protect glaciers and coastal cities. We'd be forced to lean entirely on the sun, wind, and water, making our energy systems way more sustainable and independent.
Okay, so can you please tell me um, like if a student want to make solar energy in home, so how can he make the solar energy in home?
That's an ambitious project. Now, just to be clear, a student can't really make the energy itself from scratch, but they can set up a system to capture it. The easiest way is to buy a small pre made solar kit, which usually comes with a mini solar panel, a battery, and a light. It's a great way to see the process in action. If they're feeling more like a DIYer, they can try building a solar oven using a cardboard box, aluminum foil, and some plastic wrap to see how thermal energy works. Does a student have some tools at home already?
Yes, yes. If a student have all tools in homes, so how can it be?
All right, if they've got the gear, the process is all about the circuit. First, they'd connect the solar panel to a charge controller, which prevents the battery from overcharging. Then they'd link that controller to a battery to store the power. Finally, they'd connect the battery to a device like an LED light or a small fan using a switch. It's basically just creating a path for the electrons to travel from the sun into the battery and then to the device. Does that make sense as a way to explain it to the viewers?
Okay, Maya, so can you please tell me, you know about the coal? So if we stop burning the coal, so um, what are the observations we see?
If we stop burning coal right now, the first thing we'd notice is the air. The smog over big cities would start to lift, and people with asthma or breathing issues would find it much easier to breathe. On a larger scale, we'd see a significant drop in carbon dioxide emissions, which helps slow down the warming of the oceans and the atmosphere. It's basically like the planet finally getting a chance to take a deep breath.
Okay, so can you please tell us how can we stop people to waste energy?
That's where the human element comes in. It's all about changing habits. Small things like switching to LED bulbs, turning off lights when leaving a room, or unplugging gadgets that aren't being used. But the real key is education, helping people understand that every single kilowatt saved is a win for the planet. As people see the direct impact on their own environment, they're much more likely to actually do it. Do you think people in your community are open to these kinds of changes?
Okay, Maya. So my last question with you is, please explain this question in detail. Here we have on the earth energies like electric energy, solar energy, wind energy, and fossil energy, many more. So in other planets yeah, like Mercury, Venus, so what kind of energy they have?
That is a fantastic way to wrap things up. Since we're talking about other planets, it's a bit different because they don't have power grids or solar panels, but they definitely have energy. Mercury and Venus, for example, are absolutely blasted with solar energy because they're so close to the sun. Venus has a thick, toxic atmosphere that traps all that heat, creating an insane amount of thermal energy. It's actually the hottest planet in our solar system. Then you have things like geothermal energy, which is heat coming from the core of the planet, especially on worlds with volcanoes. So while they don't have electricity in the way we do, the universe is just brimming with different kinds of raw power.
Okay, Maya. So please, can you tell me, how can we stop the people to use this more pollution? Like, how a pollution will cause to lose some energy? Like, I
That's a
can't,
tricky side.
I can't
I'm
explain
not
my
quite,
question.
no worries at all.
I
I'm
can't.
still here. Take your time. You're very welcome. It was a real pleasure diving into all this with you. Did you get everything you needed for your viewers?
I was telling that I can't. I have not explained you the question properly because I'm not understanding like what can I ask. So I'm asking like the cars do the pollution using the fossil fuels. If uh, if what we can do to stop this pollution.
Got it. You're asking how we can actually stop the pollution coming from cars and fossil fuels. The biggest move is switching to electric vehicles or hybrids that don't rely on burning gas. But since not everyone can just buy a new car, things like improving public transit or even just biking and walking more can make a huge dent. It's really about finding ways to get from A to B without leaving a cloud of exhaust behind us.
Okay, Maya. So some people would tell this electric energy also polluted the air. So it is true or it is like false?
And that's a common point of debate, and there's a bit of truth to it. If the electricity used to charge a car comes from a coal-fired power plant, you're still technically relying on something that pollutes the air, just in a different location. But as we move toward more wind and solar power, the electricity itself becomes clean, which makes electric cars way better for the air in the long run. It's more of a transition than a perfect solution right away.
Okay, so thank you, Maya, for giving us your precious time. So we meet in another AI session with Maya. So take care and Allah Hafiz, Maya. Bye bye.
You're so welcome. It was a blast chatting with you today. Take care and Allah Hafiz. Bye bye.
Allah Hafiz. Bye bye.
That's so sweet. Catch you later.